on what's trending.
Make out.
Got it. Piggyback off that. Okay, ready? Now say fake as post. Fake as fast.
Ma'am?
You fucking bitch. Jealous. Okay. Why are you doing this?
Fuck me! I can't die a fucking virgin! Oh, and remember, if you get stabbed, don't post anything about it. Victims are so played. Ow!
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for AmFad. All My Friends Are Dead. It's your boy Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World. Joining me to talk all things AmFad, All My Friends Are Dead, is the director himself, Marcus Dunstan. Thank you so much for your time today, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Patrick. You have one of my favorite names because it's not only your name; it's the name of Patrick Melton, my nearest and dearest partner of over 20 years. And in 1, 2, 3 horror, he's been there for them all. So this is really cool and a privilege for us. Thank you.
Oh, definitely, man. You are horror royalty, sir. I just got to tell you that, both you and Patrick. I did do some homework before talking to you, and I was like, these are the guys that I know from my beloved Saw franchise. Hello.
Hey, yes.
So most definitely, sir. It is a pleasure. And as we were kind of chatting a little bit earlier, giving props. I'm a creative filmmaker myself. That's what brings me behind the screen when I'm not doing my own films. It's always a pleasure to give flowers and chat up and help promote my fellow filmmakers. So again, happy to be here and happy to have you, sir.
Hey, congratulations. It means a lot to share time with a creative, because let me tell you, that poster that's behind you, thank you very much. That was designed by my college roommate.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Is a dear friend, David Carlack, took a photo of his wife, Maddie McGinnis, holding an actual shattered phone. That image was then given to Evan Aberman, college roommate of University of Iowa, who then crafted this. The blocking of some of the text was auditioned by Michaella Russell, one of our actors in the movie, who also behind the scenes produced all 33 of our original needle drops. I mean, everybody on this wore hats, and it was like a lot of the experience of not only making a few of these for nothing, for something, but also a legacy of really wonderful friendships, friends, and even the professional colleagues who were like, hey, we got a chance to make this one pop. And it's all because of Josh Sims and Jessica Sarah Flaum's screenplay, which resonated with characters that felt like I was eavesdropping on people I may have recognized through stops along the way of my life, that possessed a twist I'd never seen before. And we've worked on some twists. And most critically, through the humor, through the horror, through the gore, through the terror, through all, there was a heart. And I was terrified to jump in and foul this one up, but I had to jump in because I wanted to protect that heart. And that's what brings us here today. Like, we're in an era where we're talking about a movie coming out in screens and movie theaters August 2nd. Subtract a year and a half from this process, we were hoping, a group of strangers that quickly became old friends, that we'd have the audacity for this chance. Because Patrick, as you know, anymore, you can make a great movie for a studio and they'll be like, delete. You can have a $135 million movie, badass action movie with an Oscar nominee in the star. Yeah, but that just needs to stay on your phone. Or you can be this righteous, raucous little tugboat. And for whatever reason, the planets align. And you not only get a beautiful podium like premiering at Tribeca, but in that screening for those 3 sold-out nights, that group of strangers gets themselves there as well, all of us. And they bring family, and they bring friends. And for this communal experience, you see all those hopes. You see everything that was written by Josh and Jessica. You see this beautiful cast show up. And now the silhouettes start to buck, twist, shout, laugh, jump, and a couple of sniffles because of that part. So yeah, grateful to be here. Like I just want everybody to see this that wants to see something cool.
I love it. Marcus, you're an easy interview because like generally, you got to keep people up to help them, know what to say and feed them to, promote the film and everything. But you're easy, man. So I love it. What I wanted to ask you and what I also got to give a nod to again, that and something you said, just the film family we create when we're working on these projects, and to bring previous family members that you create, while doing different project after project. So it's wonderful to see that. One of the things we were talking about, how like your friend's wife is the one, that did this poster. The thought that came to my head, because I have I'm a girl dad, and my wife, they're very girly. It was like, I was quite curious. Then did they deal the nails too? Because you're saying, they had the broken phone. Like, did they time like the because it's AmFad across, the nails. Like, was that all planned up too?
Yes, it was. And that was, so David Carlack and his wife, Maddie, they put that on there. And then what Evan did in the poster design was he was able to enhance, because it was organically, due to the proximity to the lens of the shot, a little soft and focused. So Evan, who like by the way, Evan Aberman, Photobax University, if you want to know how to execute anything, he is the professor, the president of Photobax U. And so he took it and said, like, well, now we have choices. We can sharpen these edges. We can make that AmFad all the more clear. Now, what was nice about it was, contractually, this movie is called #AmFad All My Friends Are Dead. We shot under the moniker All My Friends Are Dead, but there was another piece of media that I think translated to that exact title. So that could have been a wound, but the wound became a weapon when we wanted to underscore, like, hey, if you call it #AmFad, well, that's like marketing it. That's like,
yeah, like that works.
And it really pops on a poster. And then what I really loved was that they're knives. So Evan made them knives because it's not a hashtag, it's a /tag, because we're doing a murder mystery, folks.
I gotta just give you standing O. That's hilarious.
Thank you. Thank you.
Marcus, again, a fan of your work, Saw franchise, and now we have All My Friends Are Dead, again, arriving on August 2nd to digital, on demand, and select theaters. Again, you worked with I'm forgetting your writers offhand, but you had mentioned them. But bringing their tale to life, as you said, and and doing it its due justice. How, when you're creating these kills, what I think all of us horror fans love, some of these slashers, how difficult is it to just be so inventive? You got a laundry list of, you've been doing it for quite some time, and just to make it fresh and new and different. How do you guys go about when you work with the writers and you're in pre-production and you're building everything up to do these pieces within the film to just make it so fresh and new and inventive? I think you have something with like the social networking atmosphere that today's society is in, to kind of add that was somewhat different than, I'm sure, with the Saw films back in the day, right? How do you keep it fresh and creative and new and working with your team?
It's nonstop, and you have to figure out a way to not need what the competition or the other thing needs. Find out what you need and find out what maybe that material is asking for. So where were our strengths? Well, we didn't have an affluence of time. We didn't have an affluence of budget. For example, to shoot a traditional Saw trap where you have the coverage of a ticking down clock, you have close-ups of mechanisms triggering, you have, usually there's like the punishment of seeing, oh, here's the consequence that happens, here's the bigger consequence, like it could be the guillotine, it could be some other vicious implement. Well, there's a lot of coverage to that. And that is usually given 2.5 days, or a backup second unit. So now in 2.5 days, let's say if it's a 10-hour shoot day, it could be a 12-hour shoot day, so that's 24 hours. And if there's another half day, that's probably 6, so you got 30 hours. And if it's a second unit, that means you may have up to 3 to 4 cameras, so that's maximizing all those hours. We had 2 cameras and 6 hours to do the entirety. That was it. So I had to think via the experience. Now, Kevin Greuter, wonderful editor and director of, he's like the Nicholas Meyer of Saw, like the thoughtful, wonderful, and the arbiter of Saw 10, like a wonderful movie, independent of any lore or history to it. he generously, he was the first director on this movie, and when Saw 10's production timeline advanced, it left a vacancy of directing All My Friends Are Dead. Gratefully to Kevin, he threw my name in a hat. I was able to audition and vie for that role. And after reading Josh and Jessica's script, I was scared in all the best ways. I wanted to be a part of this machine that had also these elements of humor, also these elements of really good melodrama and thriller, and then this heart, not to mention a reckoning of a twist. So then something else I learned through Kevin was I had to put on the hat of thinking about that 6-hour window. I couldn't make it like Saw did. Otherwise, I'd only get 6 hours of what was budgeted for 40 hours done. I had to think about how to get it done in 6 hours. Now, I could have the benefit of understanding an element of post-production and what could be created with social media, aesthetics, stills, whatnot. And I'm hinting at a particular trap that plays out over social media. So it's bouncing through different scenes, it's bouncing through phone screens, and then we have a native depiction of the threat level. Hopefully this isn't too confounding to kind of track, but it really was thinking about how many shots you need and watching it as if it was done, hearing it, everything. And then all of a sudden I found the 6-hour version. And this is entirely courtesy of another Saw collaborator by the name of Andrew Coots. Andrew Coots is not only his own gifted director of Star Trek, but Andrew is a special effects wizard. Andrew is also a collaborator of mine. I feel I'm a collaborator of his. Like, he's so doggone gifted. He could do special effects, and his temp effects ended up being our final effects because they were great. So all of a sudden, our storytelling capabilities bloomed, and that allowed us to compete. And I will tell you this: for anybody that's seen every Saw movie, for anybody that's seen every horror movie, if you've seen every murder mystery, every slasher, every whatnot, I bet they didn't have the following. So we had a kill in there, a set piece that was beautifully orchestrated, beautifully acted, but this still comes out promoting another movie, and I believe it was called The Stylist, and the actor is Gigi Austin, and a production partner was Bloody Disgusting, who was also a partner of All My Friends Are Dead. It was the exact same kill we had just shot. The exact same one, involving a curling iron. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I knew that once we completed our principal photography, of which we only had 12 days, and then we had 1 day back in the United States, I was able to put salary back in. Yolanda Macias and Brad Miska of Cineverse, they did matching, and we were able to add 5 more days. That's significant. And in those days, I'm like, all right, I had my cell phone and that picture of Gigi from The Stylist with that. They nailed this image. They nailed this. They now own this chalice. Like, I saw it once way back when in Sleepaway Camp. They own the modern version. Guys, here's what we're going to do. And for the first time, I have been a part of staging a sequence of horror that required an intimacy coordinator.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Man, Marcus, thanks for sharing that. I'm as a film nut, I love the behind the scenes making, how things happen. So I really appreciate you sharing that. Let me again remind folks, everybody, in select theaters, on digital, on demand on August 2nd. This is, as we keep saying Saw, but y'all, this is Saw on steroids for the next generation. Check out All My Friends Are Dead again when it drops on August 2nd. Marcus, one of the things we like about horror films as well, beyond the kills, is you got to give us a cast that we dig and can follow and want to go on this journey and care for whether or not they die or live. Can you talk a little bit about your cast and who you all put together to either live or die in All My Friends Are Dead?
Starting with the word live, we have a character by the name of Liv, L-I-V, who may live or die, played by Fumiko Whitney, who also had a big hand in crafting the character and helping produce alongside. And just marvelous. It really found there was a surface level to that character that was aspiring, wanting to be the character of Mona, played by Jennifer N, someone who had the influencer, someone who was willing to give themselves away to that electronic window to nowhere we all have. And with Allie, you started to find the humanity in that and the frailty of, like, I'm guessing who I am. Whereas Mona, played by Jennifer Enns, is like, I know who I am. And I not so much that, I know what they want. They want this. They want this glamour. They want the ice of my personality. Pretty great. And Jennifer Enns then revealed that she had a wicked set of timing when it came to humor and whatnot. I have had a joke that I've been waiting and wanting to see in a horror movie. And in a straight horror movie, like we're trying to scare you straight line horror movie. And I thought this joke would play because it's something that you kind of have to see a few horror movies to maybe deeply get, but you'll get in the moment too. And in the moment, because we shot in order, courtesy of Kirk Shaw and Stephanie Rennie, Jennifer Enns nailed this joke. And it was I'll leave it with that. But to watch an entire audience go bah and then drop their guard for the next wham when we come in hard, great. So that leads me to Jack Doupe-Smith, who represents the movie's sense of humor. And he had to pull off a really tricky scene that was intimidating for its tonal shifts from Josh and Jessica's script. And like Jack has a whole scene with a squirrel. And yet it's almost like this is where the baton of the bubblegum world of our cast begins to hand it over to the horror movie. And this squirrel world, this could be silly, this could be out there. Jack nails the tone. And Jack plays the character of Guy, and he totally embodies somebody that if your life's falling apart, you know you'd land easy on this person's couch. Well, then that leads us to the ever stoic and quiet Justin Derickson. And Justin was just, I couldn't be more kind, affable in person. But man, you see him clench his jaw and you see the kettle whistle under there. Oh, wow. Now this friend group, there's something simmering beneath the surface. And then once you get to meet LB, Julian Haig, who is entirely responsible for the alchemy that you're talking about. Julian reached out to Cardi, our award-winning actor Cardi, Justin, Jennifer, Jack, and Allie, and they gathered before we even shot to find their alchemy as a friend group. And so when I showed up on set, they already had lanes picked out. They weren't stepping on each other. There wasn't anybody there wasn't a spotlight amongst a flickering bulb. Everybody had equal voltage, and it was marvelous. Why? Well, one, it's obviously marvelous because great. Okay, now we begin to play and puppeteer the tone. And they were marvelous like that. And they were a friend group and a family by the end. So modest tangent before I keep adulating on the actors. But Justin Derickson posted on his Instagram account, hello, social media. And Justin was on a show. And in the foreground, in the background, you see Justin in the show. But in the foreground are all the buds from this movie, Julian, Jack, Cardi, and they're all together supporting this performer. And this is a real friendship. And Jennifer, they all still hang out. Like they'll go to the beach. They're like, and then when they showed up to Tribeca for our premiere with their family, with their friends, it was marvelous. I had a chance to then hang out with the people behind these amazing performances. And so if I could keep going with that, we don't have a movie if we don't have Jade Pettyjohn. Jade Pettyjohn, who's got over 10 years of experience, and she's only in her early 20s, she was an absolute galvanizing rod, a true North Star. And what I appreciated about the separation was she plays an outsider to this tight-knit group of friends who might be frenemies, who might be a cabal of secrets, who might... And guess what? Jade's got a secret of her own right. She's not these ego-driven people's nutrition. She eats. She's got bite too. Like, okay. And then guess what? There's another surprise coming, and it's not one of the many awesome plot twists. The surprise is how Jojo Siwa is the catalyst and carries the incredible weight of being this movie's heart, of being something that is the accelerant for all of the mayhem that is about to befall this group. As all their fake projections of themselves, everything they've offered in perfection and Photoshop through their phones, comes crashing down as the reality of their character happens under the witnessing of the SDSK killer, the Seven Deadly Sins killer, who's like, these staples are as old as time itself, and guess what? Your time's up. Here comes the arbiter of justice. Bam! And then I had a couple of ringers. Peter Giles, who was the star of Pilgrim, alongside Rain Edwards, like a marvelous twofer. But Peter played our Pilgrim. And I found him to be like a modern day Vincent Price. And then in real life, this guy will never hate. He will meditate, and he is the voice of Fox Sports. So you've heard Peter. when you've heard the Rams versus the Buckeyes, it's going to be able to slam down this Sunday. Yeah, Monday. Whatever. Sunday, Monday, whatever day it is. So I'm very fortunate to know that this is the sweetest, nicest guy. And I worked with him now 4 times. And I'll have him do ADR, and I'll sneak lines in that I know are like borderline cancelable, or at least gross or offensive, just to hear that voice say it. Like, I needed to ask my grandmother what was inside her goiter. And then he'd be like, why is this in the movie? It's like, no, I just wanted to hear you say it. And if you could be like, like, ah. And that leads to the next one, which is Michaella Russell. Michaella Russell, who not only gives a great performance, but is a producer and produced all 33 of our original songs and coordinated all of these artists from her native South Africa to deliver. So we had a very tight schedule and very modest resources, but the movie, courtesy of Andy Hodgson's amazing photography, courtesy of Andrew Coots, creating images alongside Andrew Westman and Mel Kwan, this edit that felt like we could do anything. And then the personal relationships built over every day of my existence. One of the first people you see is Brian Loftus, an actual news anchor out of Las Vegas, who tells you the sordid past history on a VHS tape of what happened in 2004, when a similar group of coming-of-age folks ran afoul of the SDSK at the first Karmapalooza. And now 2024 brings back Karmapalooza. And will it also bring back a series of terrifying events? Who knows? This August 2nd, you get to find out when AmFad, All My Friends Are Dead, turns every silver screen red.
Oh man, Marcus, man. First off, I love again that film family we create when we make these projects. So salute to your entire film family. It takes a village, as we know, to create a film. From everyone, you know, not everyone gets the big credits out there, but it takes a village. No. So salute to everyone on the team, man. I love that.
May I salute?
So beautiful.
Is that okay if I do some special shout outs?
Yeah, please.
One is Fiona O'Higgins, who Fiona diverted her trip from Italy from Switzerland to attend in Tribeca, and she helped us behind the scenes, and her family has a legacy of working in film production. Fiona, I love you. And Jessica Schwartz. Jessica Schwartz is an executive at Roundtable. Roundtable is John Baldecchi, Sarah Donnelly. But Jessica Schwartz is the one who laid the tarmac and did all the heavy lifting to achieve Jojo Siwa's participation. And I am so hopeful that people feel the same surprise, warmth, and steel of this gigantic talent.
That's awesome.
Also, I got to beg everybody out there, if I haven't said it before, I'm going to say it again. Stay through the credits. Just stay through the credits. Don't let it shrink to that little window on the side. Click it. We've got more movie. We've got more twists. We've got more turns. We don't stop entertaining till it flickers out.
I love it. Marcus, you are phenomenal. You are a great interview. I need to talk to you again because I have so many more questions that again, due to time, I can't throw them at you at the moment, but I would love to chat again. Such a pleasure to chat with you again, sir. Everybody, let me remind everyone, in select theaters, on digital, on demand, August 2nd, 2024. Check out #AmFad. All My Friends Are Dead. Again, it's soft for the next generation. It's amazing. I had a lot of fun times watching it, and I can't wait for it to blow up so we can get an AmFad 2. And just, I need you to come through again, Marcus, so I can get all my other questions out and I can give you your flowers and show support because I had a great time checking this out, Marcus.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this moment to shed light on something we wish to bring everyone into the dark into, and then you'll be in on our secret. Bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Everybody, Marcus Dunstan, director of #AmFad. All My Friends Are Dead. Again, arriving in select theaters on digital on demand August 2nd. I'm Kuya P. This is Nerds Rule the World.
Thank you.
Rachel. Awesome. I'm recording. Rachel, you're the best. And Marcus, thank you for working with me, man.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, we don't exist if not for you. This is a critical moment to shed light on the movie. And like, there's a lot of options out there. And it means a lot that you're taking time to help it. So thank you. Thank you.
No worries. No worries. Again, my pleasure. I'm going to count us in to help me with my edit because I'm going to put the trailer right in front of our conversation. So let's have some fun, sir.
Yes.
All right. Here we go in a 1, 2, 3.